What's going on, everybody? What's going on? My name is Clifton Pope. I am the founder and CEO of Health, Fitness, Wealth Business. And what Health, Fitness, Wealth Business is, it's all about healthier lifestyle with a holistic approach to where we're basically utilizing the whole 6 holistic principles of movement, breathing, thinking, nutrition, hydration, and sleep. All those things make a difference in establishing the best version of yourself that you can be from a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual standpoint. That way we can attack all 4 corners to square things away to where we can establish your generational health. Therefore, that leads to generational wealth. Therefore, that leads to pretty much knowledge of self. Health, wealth, knowledge of self. That is the core foundation of what Health, Fitness, Wealth Business is all about. And I want to welcome y'all as well to my newest YouTube channel, CPHolisticFM. So hit that subscribe button now because we're going to be delivering a whole bunch of brand new content from this particular YouTube channel. I still got the other official Health, Fitness, Wealth Business YouTube channel, but we're expanding across YouTube because I figured, why not? That way we can empower people with information to where they can turn that information into divine wisdom. Hi, Sophia. But anywho's, I want to talk about something that gets used a lot but rarely gets explained clearly. Spiritual enlightenment. I dedicate a whole podcast series to this on a regular monthly basis. And there's a reason why I do that, because a lot of people, they hear the phrase and immediately think about floating above life or escaping reality or becoming some untouchable, peaceful person who never struggles. But real spiritual enlightenment is not about escaping life. It's about seeing life clearly, living through the power of truth, and becoming more aligned with your mind, body, and spirit. So in this video, I'm going to break down real quick what spiritual enlightenment actually means, what it doesn't mean, and what it looks like in everyday life, and how you're actually growing or just collecting spiritual language. So let me tell you what spiritual enlightenment is not. It's not pretending you're above pain, acting like you never get triggered, or using positive vibrations to avoid real healing. See, a lot of people confuse enlightenment with performance. They think that if they talk softer or post wise quotes or say, "I'm protecting my peace," that means that they're awakened. And I've been there and done that too. But I'm starting to realize that real enlightenment is not about branding or performance. It's about awareness plus transformation. Seeing yourself more honestly and seeing others more compassionately, and becoming less ruled by fear, ego, and impulse, and living from a deeper center than just for reaction. Real enlightenment is not looking deep, y'all. It's becoming more clear. And this is what spiritual enlightenment actually means. At the core, spiritual enlightenment is basically waking up the truth about yourself, about your life, about the Most High God, about your patterns, about what really matters. It's basically stepping out of living in pure autopilot. Stop moving through life through trauma, fear, ego, pressure, a wounded identity, or being distracted all the time, right? Start living with more awareness, presence, discernment, humility, and alignment. That is pretty much what spiritual enlightenment is, because in real life, spiritual enlightenment means you can pause before reacting. You can become more honest about what's going on within yourself. You can stop blaming everybody else for what you won't face in yourself. You become more teachable, and you begin to value truth over comfort. It's all about waking up. Wake up, awaken yourself, please, by all means, because that's what we need to do, because it's the slow process of becoming conscious enough to say things like, that fear is nothing but a lie. This pattern keeps repeating for a reason. That pain needs healing, not hiding, right? Or this habit is just becoming my downfall. That is spiritual enlightenment in real life. So I'm going to make it practical for y'all, because a lot of people want the concept, but they miss the everyday evidence of spiritual enlightenment. So here's a good example of this. You respond more and react less. You still feel things and have those same emotions, but you're not being controlled by them. You pause, you breathe, you acknowledge, accept, embrace, and you discern. You stop letting every feeling become like a command that comes out of nowhere, right? You become more self-aware. You notice things about what drains you, triggers you, the patterns that keep showing up when your ego decides to arrive, and where you need to heal. You stop saying things like, that's just how I am, right? You stop faking the peace, because real enlightenment doesn't mean you're never struggling. It means you stop pretending about the fact that you're struggling. You become honest enough to say, hey, I'm hurt. I'm scared. I need the Most High God. I need to sit with this instead of run from it. I need to face everything and rise versus forget everything and run, so you can overcome fear. You become harder to manipulate. When you become spiritually awake, and this is what I've been noticing a lot lately personally, the more spiritual awake that I've been becoming, it's become, a lot less, it's become less challenging, so to speak, to be pulled by fear and hype and people's opinions and all this false urgency going on, because my center from within continues to become stronger, tougher, and more resilient. Now, speaking of that, you start living more aligned. I mean, your outer life starts matching your inner knowing increasingly over time, even though it's not perfect. It takes step by step for sure. So when I break down spiritual enlightenment, I want to cover, the 3 layers real quick: body, soul, and spirit, because one of the clearest ways to understand spiritual enlightenment is through the lens of the body, because the body is how you experience the outer world, where you feel the tension, the exhaustion, the hunger, rest, the overstimulation, the grounding. You got a spiritually unconscious person that often ignores the body until it breaks down. And then you got a spiritually awakened person who's realizing, hey, why am I so tense? Why am I exhausted? And why do I only know how to push? Things like that. You can look at it from the layer of the soul, where you feel the joy, the sorrow, the pleasure, fear, desire, grief, all that stuff. I can go on and on. Basically, your soul is where the emotional weather takes place. Again, enlightenment means you stop letting your soul remain a mystery to you. You learn how to sit with your emotional life instead of being dragged by it. Now, you got to look at the layer of the spirit as well when it comes to spiritual enlightenment, because the spirit is where deeper meaning, connection, and truth becomes alive. That's where you tune in to the kingdom of heaven that's within you and all around you. And that's how you become in tune with the Most High God, because you are within the Most High God, and the Most High God is within you. And again, spiritual enlightenment in real life is not leaving the body behind at all. I just want to make that clear. It's learning how to align your mind, body, spirit, heart, gut, and soul. And that is how you grow in spiritual enlightenment. So you're probably wondering how you can continue to grow for yourself. Well, I will say this: you got to slow down, pump the brakes a little bit so you can notice. Sometimes it's about appreciating the stillness instead of searching for the truth all the time. I know it's difficult to do. I'm still learning how to do it myself every day. If I can do it, you can too. Because if you never slow down, you'll stay disconnected from yourself. And then you'll never get the chance to practice honest reflection, which is something that we need more of. We need to ask ourselves, what story are we telling ourselves, right? And at the same time, we got to ask ourselves, where am I living from fear instead of truth? Fight fear with truth. And sometimes this is something I'm also starting to get, ironically enough, a little bit more comfortable with these days. I'm starting to let the discomfort teach me a little bit more, because growth often comes through what exposes you. Instead of running from the discomfort, Ask, what is it revealing? What is it teaching? What in me needs healing, surrender, and discipline? This is the most important step in spiritual enlightenment. Stay connected to the Most High God, the original source of consciousness, the monad, the source, the creator of all things, whatever you want to call it. You could argue about the name all you want, but you can't deny the existence of a higher power that oversees all. Because true spiritual enlightenment is not self-worship. It's not just becoming more in touch with yourself. It's about becoming more in touch with the truth and ultimately with the Most High God, the original source of consciousness and the true invisible force of the monad. You got to live what you learn, baby. You got to practice what you preach. That's for sure, because awareness without action becomes spiritual entertainment. Knowledge without application is entertainment. Therefore, applied knowledge is power, because that turns into divine wisdom. Hi, Sophia. Because real enlightenment means you learn, reflect, adjust, align, and you continue to grow. So here's my final reality check when it comes to spiritual enlightenment. Here's how you know if your spirituality is becoming real. You ask yourself, am I becoming more peaceful or just more performative? You ask yourself, am I becoming more honest or just more expressive? You ask yourself, am I becoming more grounded or just more dramatic? Or you ask yourself, am I becoming more loving, more disciplined, more clear, right? Do the people around me experience more wisdom from me or just more spiritual language? That is the real test. Because again, spiritual enlightenment in real life looks like more clarity, peace, responsibility, humility, and truth, along with alignment of all those things I just mentioned together. Spiritual enlightenment for me, it looks like becoming a better steward of your energy, emotions, choice, your body, your soul, and your spirit. That sounds pretty good to me. So no, spiritual enlightenment is not about escaping life. Again, that's a disclaimer, making that perfectly clear. Spiritual enlightenment is about waking up the inside life within you. It's about seeing clearly, seeing things clearly from within yourself in every situation and scenario and all around you. Being more open and honest with the communication that you have within yourself and within others about what's going on, and just living in deeper alignment through the power of truth and through the power of the Most High God. Now, again, if this video right here helps you, be sure to like this video, number one. Be sure to subscribe to the new YouTube channel at CPHolisticFM. That's CPHolisticFM. And share it with somebody who's on a real journey of healing, growth, and awakening. And if you want me to do more on topics like chakras, mindfulness, body, soul, spirit, fear, and truth, or spiritual growth in everyday life, drop it in the comments as well. And I look forward to talking to you more, as this is Clifton Pope with Health, Fitness, Wealth, Business. And this is the CP Holistic FM YouTube page, going live without a doubt, baby. Peace and love, y'all. Talk to y'all on the next video.